Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the massive radio telescope array in Chile's Atacama Desert, her heart racing as she reviewed the data for the 100th time. The signal was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, a perfect mathematical sequence that couldn't possibly be natural. Dr. Chen, we've confirmed it, her colleague Dr. James Martinez called out, his voice trembling with excitement. The signal's origin is approximately 50 light-years away, and it's definitely artificial. The discovery shook the scientific community to its core. After decades of searching the cosmos for signs of intelligent life, humanity had finally received its answer. But no one expected what happened next. 3 months after the signal's detection, Earth's early warning systems detected an object decelerating from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The object was massive, nearly the size of Manhattan, and its surface absorbed all light, earning it the nickname, the Obsidian. Military forces worldwide went on high alert, but the vessel made no aggressive moves. Instead, it broadcast a message in perfect English: "We come seeking humanity's aid. Your species possesses something unique, something that may save countless civilizations." Sarah found herself at the heart of Earth's first contact team, alongside Colonel Diana Wright, a decorated military strategist, and Dr. Raj Patel, the world's leading expert in quantum computing. The team was tasked with making humanity's first face-to-face contact with an alien species. The meeting location was set, a neutral facility constructed on the moon's surface. As Sarah stepped onto the lunar surface, she couldn't help but marvel at how quickly humanity had adapted to the situation. In just 6 months, nations had united, pooling resources and expertise to prepare for this moment. The aliens called themselves the Araxians. Their representative, Ambassador Zaxel, was a tall, ethereal being with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to contain galaxies. But what struck Sarah most was the profound sadness in those eyes. "Your species is unique in the known universe," Zaxel explained, their voice resonating directly in the humans' minds. While other civilizations evolved through peaceful means, humanity forged itself in conflict and adversity. This has given you something precious: adaptability, creativity, and an unmatched ability to find solutions where none seem to exist. The ambassador's next words chilled Sarah to her bone. The Araxians weren't just making a social call, they were running from something. A force known as the Void Dominion was consuming entire galaxies, assimilating or destroying all life in its path. Conventional weapons and tactics had proved useless against them. "We've observed how humans turn disadvantages into advantages," Zaxel continued. "How you've survived and thrived despite countless challenges. We believe your species' unique perspective may be key to defeating the Void Dominion." Colonel Wright leaned forward, her military training evident in her focused demeanor. "You're saying you need our help to fight a war against an enemy that's already defeated more advanced civilizations?" "Precisely," Zaxel replied. "The Void Dominion operates with perfect logic and predictability. They cannot comprehend or counter the human capacity for illogical, creative solutions. Your species sees possibilities where others see only obstacles." As if to emphasize the urgency, a holographic display materialized, showing the Void Dominion's path of destruction across the galaxy. Entire solar systems vanished in its wake, leaving behind nothing but cosmic darkness. Dr. Patel, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "You're not just asking for our help, you're betting the survival of countless species on humanity's ability to think outside the box." The ambassador nodded solemnly. "We offer an alliance. We will share our technology and knowledge, and in return, we ask for humanity's unique perspective and determination." Sarah looked at her colleagues, seeing the weight of this moment in their eyes. Humanity had dreamed of reaching the stars, but not like this. Their first step into the galactic community would be as warriors and problem solvers in a war that threatened all of existence. As they prepared to return to Earth with this world-changing proposal, Sarah gazed at the stunning view of her home planet. Humanity had always looked to the stars with hope and wonder. Now the stars were looking back, not with conquest or destruction in mind, but with a desperate plea for help. The choice before them was clear: remain isolated on Earth and wait for the inevitable arrival of the Void Dominion, or step into the cosmos and fight for the survival of all sentient life. The greatest adventure in human history was about to begin, and humanity's creativity and resilience would be tested like never before. The integration of alien technology with human innovation proceeded faster than anyone could have imagined. Within months, the barren surface of Mars had been transformed into humanity's first interstellar shipyard. Massive vessels took shape under the red planet's sky, each one a fusion of Arisian engineering and human design philosophy. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, Earth's first true warship. Unlike the sleek, crystalline designs of Arisian vessels, human ships maintained a rugged, practical appearance. Where Arisian technology relied on pure energy manipulation, humans had insisted on redundant physical systems, a decision that would soon prove crucial. Engineering reports the hybrid drive is functioning at 110% capacity, Lieutenant Jack O'Neill reported, grinning. Looks like Dr. Chen's crazy idea about combining our fossil fuel engines with Arisian quantum drives actually worked. Maya nodded, suppressing a smile. The Araxians had been horrified at the suggestion of using primitive combustion technology alongside their advanced systems. But Sarah Chen's team had proven that the combination created something entirely new, a drive system that could operate in conditions that would disable pure energy-based technology. The Prometheus led a fleet of 50 ships, each crewed by a mixture of humans and Araxians. The human presence had already begun changing how the alien civilization approached problems. Where Araxians sought perfect solutions, humans embraced improvisation and redundancy. Their first joint mission targeted a Void Dominion scout force at the edge of Arisian space. The enemy vessels were massive geometric shapes that seemed to absorb both light and hope, leaving only darkness in their wake. Multiple quantum signatures detected, the Arisian sensor officer, Vexna, announced. Void Dominion pattern confirmed. They're different from our records. They've adapted. Maya studied the tactical display. The Void ships had indeed changed, incorporating defenses specifically designed to counter Arisian weapons. But they hadn't counted on human unpredictability. Launch the decoys, Maya ordered. Hundreds of small drones shot out from the human ships, each broadcasting signals that mimicked various vessel types. The Void Dominion's perfect logic struggled to categorize the chaotic pattern. They're confused, Vexna reported, amazement in their telepathic voice. Their targeting systems are attempting to analyze all possibilities simultaneously. Maya allowed herself a predatory smile. Begin Operation Chaotic Response. The human Araxian fleet split into seemingly random groups, executing maneuvers that defied conventional tactical logic. Ships deliberately exposed their weaknesses, only to reveal them as traps. The Void Dominion's attempts to predict and counter their movements failed repeatedly. But the enemy was learning. A massive energy beam lanced out from the lead Void ship, cutting through several decoys and clipping the Prometheus's port side. Port shield generator is down, O'Neill reported calmly. Switching to backup kinetic barriers. The Arisian crew members stared in shock as thick plates of metal slid into place where energy shields had failed. It wasn't elegant, but it worked. All ships, execute pattern Delta, Maya commanded. The fleet responded instantly, forming a three-dimensional spiral that confused the Void Dominion's targeting systems. Fire everything we've got. The combined firepower of human ballistic weapons and Arisian energy cannons struck the enemy fleet. Where pure energy weapons had once proved ineffective, the combination of physical projectiles and quantum-enhanced explosives tore through the Void ship's defenses. In the aftermath of their victory, Maya received a transmission from the Arisian High Command. Their analysis confirmed what humanity had suspected: the Void Dominion's perfect logic was its weakness. By introducing chaos and unpredictability into combat, the human Araxian alliance had found a way to defeat an enemy that had seemed invincible. But their celebration was short-lived. Long-range sensors detected massive Void Dominion fleets mobilizing across the galaxy. The enemy had recognized the threat this alliance posed and was responding with overwhelming force. As Maya shared this information with her crew, she saw not fear but determination in their eyes, human and Arisian alike. They had proven that this enemy could be beaten. Now they needed to prepare for a war unlike anything either civilization had faced before. "Send word to Earth," Maya ordered. "Tell them to accelerate production of the hybrid ships. And get me Dr. Chen, I have some ideas about improving our weapons systems that might just be crazy enough to work." The Alliance had achieved its first victory, but the real test was yet to come. The Void Dominion would adapt, would bring its full might to bear against them. But humanity had spent its entire existence adapting, surviving, and overcoming impossible odds. With Arisian technology and human ingenuity combined, they had a fighting chance. As the fleet set course for home, Maya knew that this was just the beginning. The greatest challenge in human history lay ahead, but for the first time, she truly believed they could win. The Void Dominion's response was devastating. They struck simultaneously across 17 sectors, targeting both military installations and civilian populations. But humanity had spent millennia preparing for worst-case scenarios, and now those paranoid contingency plans proved prophetic. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the underground command center beneath the Martian surface, watching as holographic displays showed the battles raging across space. The Void Dominion had adapted to their previous tactics, but humanity had anticipated this. "Deploy the Ghost Protocol," Admiral Hassan ordered, his weathered face illuminated by the tactical displays. The newly developed stealth system, inspired by Earth's deep-sea creatures, activated across the human Araxian fleet. Ships seemed to fade from existence, their energy signatures matching the background radiation of space. The Void Dominion's perfect logic failed to account for this biological approach to stealth. Their sensors, designed to detect technological signatures, struggled against systems based on nature's solutions. "Multiple breakthroughs in Sector 7, an operator announced. They're using some kind of quantum tunneling technology." Sarah's mind raced. The enemy had found a way to bypass conventional defenses, but that gave her an idea. "What if we turn their tunneling against them?" she suggested. "We could use their own quantum signatures as targeting beacons." The idea was radical, dangerous, and exactly what they needed. Within hours, human engineers had modified their weapon systems to piggyback on the Void Dominion's quantum tunnels, turning their advanced technology into a vulnerability. Captain Maya Rodriguez led the counterattack, her fleet striking from impossible angles through the enemy's own tunneling corridors. The Void Dominion's perfect formations shattered as their ships were hit by attacks that seemed to come from within their own ranks. But victory came at a cost. The quantum backlash from their improvised tactics damaged several human ships, including Maya's flagship. As her vessel drifted, systems failing, she made a decision that would change the course of the war. "All power to the hybrid drive," she ordered. "We're going to overload it." Her Arisian first officer, Zexenar, protested. "The energy discharge would be catastrophic." "Exactly," Maya smiled grimly. The exploding drive created a cascading quantum reaction that rippled through the Void Dominion's tunneling network, collapsing their carefully constructed invasion routes. Back on Mars, Sarah watched as the tactical situation shifted. The enemy's advance had been halted, but at a terrible price. Nearly a third of the human Araxian fleet was destroyed or damaged. "They'll be back," Admiral Hassan stated quietly. "And they'll have countermeasures for everything we just threw at them." "Then we'll come up with something new," Sarah replied, already working on improvements to their hybrid technology. "Humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons or tactics, it's our ability to adapt and overcome." The Admiral nodded, but his expression remained troubled. "We intercepted some unusual communications during the battle. There are patterns that suggest the Void Dominion isn't just adapting tactically, they're trying to understand us." This revelation sent a chill through the command center. An enemy that could learn humanity's unpredictability would be nearly impossible to defeat. But Sarah saw an opportunity. If they're trying to understand us, we can use that. Feed them patterns, make them think they've figured us out, then hit them with something completely different. The strategy would require perfect coordination between human intuition and Arisian technology. They would need to be unpredictable in their unpredictability, creating layers of deception that would confound even an enemy capable of learning their patterns. As the command center buzzed with activity, preparing for the next phase of the war, Sarah received an urgent message from one of her research teams. They had discovered something in the quantum residue left by the collapsed tunneling network, a pattern that suggested the Void Dominion wasn't just a hostile alien force. They were running from something worse. The Shadow War had entered a new phase, and humanity's role in the cosmic drama was about to become far more complex than anyone had imagined. But first, they had to survive the next wave of attacks, and Sarah had a feeling they were running out of time to prepare. Dr. Sarah Chen's discovery shook the foundations of everything they thought they knew about their enemy. The quantum residue analysis revealed that the Void Dominion's ships weren't just vessels, they were prisons. Look at these energy patterns, she explained to the Joint Human-Araxian Council. They're not random. They're screaming. The revelation came too late to prevent the betrayal. Deep within the Mars facility, carefully planted quantum receivers activated, transmitting critical defense data directly to the Void Dominion. The source of the leak stunned everyone, it came from within the Arisian High Command. Captain Maya Rodriguez, still recovering from her near sacrifice, received the emergency alert in the medical bay. The Void Dominion isn't just an enemy force, she transmitted to all allied ships. They're victims of something worse, something that's using them as weapons. The real enemy revealed itself as massive structures emerged from quantum space, ancient machines that had spent millennia consuming civilizations and turning them into automated warriors. The Void Dominion was their latest conquest, forced to serve as the vanguard of their expansion. Admiral Hassan mobilized every available ship as the machines launched their first direct assault. They've been using the Void Dominion to test us, to learn our capabilities. Now they're coming to finish the job. But humanity had learned too. Sarah's team had developed a quantum resonance device that could disrupt the machine's control over their enslaved forces. The challenge was getting close enough to use it. We need to think like humans, Maya announced to her fleet. Not soldiers, not strategists, but like the survivors our species has always been. These machines want perfection. Let's show them chaos. The plan was insane by any logical standard. They would deliberately trigger their hybrid drives to create a massive quantum storm, something that should destroy them all. But human engineers had discovered something the machines couldn't comprehend: imperfection could be a shield. All ships, initiate Operation Pandemonium, Maya ordered. The human Araxian fleet scattered in seemingly random patterns, their hybrid drives creating a web of quantum distortions that defied the machine's perfect calculations. In the chaos, Sarah's team detected a pattern in the machine's response. They're not just calculating, she realized. They're scared. These things have never encountered anything they couldn't predict. The quantum resonance device activated, its effect amplified by the quantum storm. Throughout the battlefield, Void Dominion ships began breaking free of their programming. The liberated crews, their consciousness restored, turned against their former masters. But the machines had one final card to play. They initiated their own self-destruct sequences, prepared to sacrifice everything to maintain their perfect order. Maya saw the threat and made an impossible decision. All ships, synchronize your hybrid drives with the quantum resonance. We're going to give these machines exactly what they fear most: pure, human chaos. The combined effect created a cascade of quantum anomalies that the machines couldn't adapt to. Their perfect logic corrupted, their systems overwhelmed by the unpredictable nature of human innovation combined with desperate survival instinct. As the machines began to fall, Sarah detected something extraordinary in their dying transmissions. They weren't just machines, they were the last remnants of a civilization so ancient they had forgotten what it meant to be alive. In pursuing perfect order, they had become the very chaos they sought to eliminate. The victory was bittersweet. Many ships were lost, and the full extent of the Arisian betrayal was still unknown. But humanity had proven itself against an enemy that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia. In the aftermath, Maya stood on the observation deck of her new flagship, watching as former Void Dominion ships were integrated into the Alliance. "What do we do now?" her Arisian first officer asked. Maya smiled. "We do what humanity has always done. We rebuild, we adapt, and we make sure we're ready for whatever comes next. Because out there in the darkness, something else is watching. And thanks to us, it's learning to fear chaos." The ancient machines had fallen, but they left behind a legacy that threatened to tear the Alliance apart. The Arisian betrayal ran deeper than anyone had suspected. Their leaders had known about the machine's true nature all along. They had sought humanity's help not just to fight the Void Dominion, but to free themselves from a bargain made millennia ago. Dr. Sarah Chen faced the combined council with evidence that changed everything. The Araxians didn't evolve naturally, she revealed. They were engineered by the machines as perfect, logical beings. But perfection became their prison. The quantum resonance device had done more than free the Void Dominion, it had shattered the subtle controls built into Arisian biology. For the first time in their history, they could think truly freely, embrace chaos and creativity as humans did. Captain Maya Rodriguez watched from her command chair as the combined fleet approached the machine's last stronghold, a massive structure at the galaxy's core that pulsed with dark energy. The former Void Dominion ships, now crewed by their liberated people, formed the vanguard of their assault. "Multiple quantum signatures," her sensors officer reported. "They're different from anything we've seen before." The machines had created one final defense, a weapon that targeted the very chaos they feared. Ships began to freeze in space as their systems were forced into perfect, predictable patterns. "They're trying to impose order on reality itself," Sarah's voice came through the calm, "but there's a weakness. The quantum field they're generating, it's too perfect." Maya understood immediately. "All ships, initiate emergency protocols. Randomize everything, power distribution, shield harmonics, weapon frequencies. Don't let them predict anything." The human concept of controlled chaos proved to be the machine's undoing. Where other species sought harmony with the universe, humanity had learned to thrive in discord. Every ship began operating on pure improvisation, their patterns so erratic that the machine's weapon couldn't lock onto them. Sarah's team, working with liberated Arisian scientists, reprogrammed the quantum resonance device into something new. "We're not just going to destroy them," she announced. "We're going to give them back what they lost, the ability to evolve, to change, to be imperfect." The device activated, its effect amplified by the chaos of battle. The machine's perfect patterns began to fracture, not into destruction, but into transformation. Their rigid structures became fluid, their binary logic giving way to quantum uncertainty. As the machines transformed, a final transmission echoed across space, not in words, but in emotions. For the first time in countless millennia, they experienced what it meant to be truly alive, to be beautifully imperfect. The war ended not with destruction, but with rebirth. The machines, the Void Dominion, the Araxians, all freed from the chains of enforced perfection. Humanity had given the galaxy not just victory, but liberation. Maya stood with Sarah on Earth's new space elevator, watching ships from 100 species dock at the orbital station above. "Think they'll ever forgive us for introducing chaos to their ordered universe?" she asked. Sarah smiled, watching an Arisian child playing with a human toy, delighting in its random movements. "I think they already have. We showed them something they'd forgotten, that the universe isn't meant to be perfect. It's meant to be alive." The Alliance transformed into something greater, a federation of species united not by perfection, but by the shared experience of growth through adversity. Humanity's gift to the galaxy wasn't just survival, but the freedom to evolve, to make mistakes, to learn, and to dream. As night fell over Earth, Maya looked up at the stars, no longer seeing points of light, but countless possibilities. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. They had proven that their greatest weakness, their chaotic, unpredictable nature, was actually their greatest strength. The age of enforced order was over. The dawn of beautiful chaos had begun.